Welcome to the Misfits Guide to the Bible.
Where the curious, the skeptical, and the strange find a home.
I'm Jonas Worthy.
And I'm Sam Smith, and together we will embark on a journey through the Bible's wild side.
For those who don't quite fit in. Hi, friends. So, yesterday, Sam and I recorded for 2 hours, and I only realized an hour and 45 minutes into the recording that the audio was not recording. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to record again this week. Sam and I had a great conversation about the Christmas narrative in the Gospel of Luke and how it differed from the book of Matthew, and how the Gospel of Luke is concerned with Jesus as a cosmic role reverser, uplifting the lowly and humbling the proud. Sam had mentioned that she knew a pastor in her hometown that worked closely with the homeless in her community and created a community for them focusing on the dignity of their humanity. Overall, the tone of this episode was focusing on the things that drew me to Christianity, like the dignity of all people. I want to make clear that Sam and I are not trying to destroy faith in this podcast. I believe that a faith informed by parts of the Bible, like the Jesus of Luke, is a faith to be admired. Sam and I might be hit or miss over the next few weeks as we are busy with family, work, and other life things. I know that we had promised Pagan Christmas, but Sam does not have the time to prepare for it at the moment, so we went with the Christian Christmas story instead to alleviate some of the burden from Sam. Next week, I will have a special guest on. This will be something that I might do more frequently in the future as Sam is busy with her work and her research right now. I want to give permission to anyone, not that you need my permission, but I want to let everyone know that it's okay to maintain some form of faith. It's also okay if you can't maintain that faith anymore. It's okay if you find meaning in a new faith. Overall, I hope that you have a great holiday season and maintain your peace during this time. I think just to kind of wrap this up, the idea that we see like this amalgamated text, and we see it because Christianity is just really obsessed with trying to smooth over the ugly parts of, well, not this is not even necessarily the ugly part. It's just a part that maybe hints that the text is not univocal, and it is not this as coherent as evangelical Christians would like it to be. But I think that the beautiful thing that we see, especially in the Gospel of Luke, is Jesus as this power structure flipper. We kind of see it all throughout Luke, and Jesus saying, I've come to proclaim good news to the poor. I've come to release the captives, give sight to the blind, and to free those who are oppressed. And that, I think, to me, is what the true meaning of Christmas should be, and what the takeaway is that we need to do like Jesus. We need to flip these power structures on their head.
Yeah, I like that. In almost every aspect of my life, flipping the power structure has been the cornerstone of who I am, right? As a professor, I try to break as much power structure as I can. As a therapist, I always tried to break as much power structure. I hated it. Power differentials piss me off. So I very much like the idea of that kind of being the reason for the season.
Yeah. It's it's a takeaway that I can get behind. Whereas this, Jesus came so that you're not an awful, dirty, terrible person. And by that, I just mean that you don't have sex before marriage, and you're not gay, and you
Yeah.
don't watch porn, and you
Yeah.
can check those boxes off, then you're good. That's just such a lame message. It's lame. Like
It is lame.
it doesn't do anything for anybody except to do exactly the opposite of what Jesus is talking about in Luke, to keep the powerful in power and keep
Yeah.
them in charge.
And powerful are doing dicey shit anyway. They're just rich enough to hide it.
Exactly. Yeah, that was always, I think, something that was frustrating for me coming from evangelicalism, is seeing that um I mean, almost giving just this do whatever you want free pass to leaders within the church.
Yeah.
on certain issues. Like you can have an affair with your spouse. That's fine. We don't care about monogamy unless it's some congregant. We don't care about it. Like the
Hmm.
pastor can do no wrong. That's fine. That's fine. You
Interesting.
can essay somebody. That's fine. We don't care. As long as our power structures get to stay intact and we don't have to actually question, is the pastor actually a good person?
Yeah.
Like, is the
Yeah.
pastor actually hearing from God if they're doing these terrible things?
I have a whole rabbit hole on that one, but I will spare us all because it's more traumatic than it should be.
I think that there are a lot of traumatic stories that people could tell about being in the church and how those power structures did not work in their favor, and because of that they were ostracized from
Yeah.
their community. It's really unfortunate, I think. But ultimately, I guess I want to end this one on a little bit of a happier note because the other ones have been a little bleak in the
Shocking.
yeah, shocking and a little bleak. But I think this one that um, I know not everybody's religious, not everybody celebrates this holiday. And then some of you out there might be in a similar situation where I am, where it's just such an ingrained part of your family that even though you don't personally want to celebrate it anymore, you might be in a situation where you are having to celebrate it. I think that the best thing that we can remember during this time is that it's a good time to be able to try to be in community with other people
Mm.
and to perhaps push those family members who may not believe in the same way that you do, to push them in a direction of this love of humanity and this flipping of power structures and power dynamics.
I wish I had more to add to that other than that's how I celebrate, right? Just about being in community.
Mm.
Not really flipping so much power
Mm-hmm.
dynamics, but I still celebrate Christmas
Yeah.
in quotes. Yeah. I have a tree, but it also has a, Yule goat on it. So,
And that's the other thing. Like you can blend it together as much
mm.
as you want to. It is your holiday to make. You don't have to have it be a certain thing.
Yeah, I think your takeaway message is great though, man.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. You got anything to add?
Not necessarily. No, I think it's a good message. I don't, as a whole, my family doesn't necessarily celebrate, so I don't really have any. Well, I could self-reflect and say that they don't necessarily celebrate because I don't go to visit my Christian family, my extended family that's Christian, because they are rural, deep Missouri,
Mm.
and there are some of them that I love dearly, and there are others that, I just don't have it in me
Mm.
to be the blue-haired liberal.
Yeah. Yeah. I got
Um,
it.
and so I am protecting my peace.
Yep. And that is also perfectly fine too. If you
Yeah.
do not want to get into it with your family, you also don't have to. You don't
Yeah,
have to.
you know what? There are members of my family that do not even invite me to things anymore.
Mm.
And I'm like, that's honestly, you've spared us all. Thank
It's
you.
probably for the best at this point.
Yeah, what am I gonna do? Show up with my boyfriend who's 20 years older than me, and we're both tattooed and educated, and the only thing that would be worse is if I still had my Prius.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm still whipping my sports car down gravel roads to go to any fan. I'm not going, so I just protect myself.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, this season.
As always, this time we hopped around a little bit more, so there were a lot of different stories. But if you want to go read them for yourselves, yeah, feel free to. I hope that you all have a great holiday season, and like Sam said, protect your peace if you need to.
Yeah, stay safe, stay warm. Have some tasty cookies. I love holiday cookies.
Hmm.
So good.
Have good food. Right.
Perfect.
Peace.
If you liked this episode, please consider liking and subscribing if you are on YouTube, or rate and follow the podcast.
Thank you for joining us for this episode. If you have any questions or would like to suggest a story, please feel free to reach out to us on X or Blue Sky. Until next time, remember that belief isn't the price you pay for being worthy.
And you're not alone in feeling like a misfit.